Here's a quick demo of how you can decode an analog video stream using the Aaronia Spectrum analyzer. First, you need to add your typical Spectran V6 block that you found on the left in your block graph editor. You can add a power spectrum to turn the real-time IQ data into FFT. This will give you a spectrum and a waterfall. The view you have here. So here you can see there's clearly some sort of analog signal here that is from an analog video camera. You can add an IQ demodulator. So if you want to center to only look at a particular type of traffic, so you can use the IQ demodulator to set a span frequency, how wide it is, and a sample rate. One important thing is to set the sample rate to at least twice the span frequency. I can show you soon later or close to it. So I can set this now to like set 2 megahertz, just show the demo of it. And then you can also send this data to a HTTP server because you can use the video decoder block in Aaronia, yes, but you can also send that IQ data to different applications to do the same thing. The quality is best in Aaronia from what I've tested, so I recommend just getting the block if you really need it. So now I can move this one here. I can close this one, and then I'm going to move this one here. I can see there's some sort of traffic here. So I can zoom into this traffic and see this. It flickers a little bit. But now remember what I said. If I set the span frequency now to 11 megahertz and I set the sample rate to at least twice, and then you have a color of you have even the color from the camera. So that is cool and all, so I can do this and it will center this quite decent, right? So next thing I can do is to, let's say, this back to 11 megahertz. And now, yes, I can decode that one. I think the camera is there. And you can send an HTTP stream to SDRAngel. A little bit bright there, but as you can see, I can make this a little bit bigger. But what I've done here is just using the official Aaronia input, set the frequency and set the sample rate. This will be, you see that changes live in SDRAngel when it's connected using the HTTP block. So you can also use an analog TV demodulator here, and you can tweak this with all kinds of settings. So that's how you decode it. So whenever this camera, for example, changed channels, let's see, there, and you changed the channels, that was better. And then let's see if I can do that. There. And now it stops, right? So then you just use the typical IQ demodulator again. Move this a little bit further and just move this to where you want to demodulate the traffic. So that is pretty cool. So if you have an Aaronia and you maybe need to play a little bit with it to decode some analog video cameras, it's a great demo. Just remember to set the sample rate to at least twice the span frequency, and you get a pretty good and decent image.